Well, we have with us once again Dr. Santosh, his blessed name being Mitra Sut. He was here with us last time and he focused a lot on the brain and the marriage between medicine and spirituality. We also spoke a lot about Shakti Prava, which is conducted regularly at the Maitri Bodh Parivar by Maitreya Dadashriji. A lot of us take a look at the mind as, its cognitive abilities, but the mind goes beyond that, especially when you have traumatic experiences in your life. Our emotions then release a lot of chemicals that runs through your bloodstream. So we're going to talk about the connect between the mind and the body today. And we have Mitra Sut, who's going to take us through that journey. Mitra Sut.
Thank you once again for having me, and it's a privilege and honor. I mean, to what we shared last time, and I hope we will continue this, and which will help a lot of people.
It will, because we got very good reviews, and people loved, the way you spoke about it. There was so much of passionate and so much of truth to whatever you spoke. So I would like for you to take it further and explain to us the connect between the mind and the body. If you can explain that, so that our audiences understand the functioning of the brain even better.
Yes, this is a very vast topic actually, and one of my favorite ones.
Yes.
Because being a doctor, we study human body in great details. And of course, in the field of psychiatry and psychology, we touch upon the mind. So the beautiful thing is that in medical science, a huge amount of understanding we have got, right from the microscopic level to blood circulation, the hormones, and you name it. Everything has been studied in intricate details, and still the researches are happening. In the same way about the mind, about the brain, me being a neuroradiologist, it's like so intriguing to see how the brain functions. The brain functioning networks which are there, which we saw a little bit last time about the default mode network and the other networks which are there, how they function and how these are different depending upon our mental state. Now, an important thing to understand here is that in medical science, we are able to touch upon mind up to a certain limitation. So let me first give a brief understanding where and how much has mind been studied. So of course, acknowledging the vast amount of contribution by scientists and psychiatrists world over, uh, very importantly, currently everyone knows that there is a direct connection between the body and the mind. The way our thoughts are, the way our mind functions, it directly impacts the body. So there was a paper which studied meta-analysis of 300 papers. And what they found is how human psychology affects the immune system. The moment you get stressed, cortisols are released. That brings about, it brings down your immunity. And it very beautifully concludes that human beings have somehow extended their fight and flight response, which was supposed to be only momentary, to their daily lives. And it is continuing for lifelong in some people. So you can imagine the way we get, when we get stressed, the hormones which are secreted continuously, which are only supposed to be for those challenging times. They impact us. So this has been extensively studied and medical science acknowledges. So the solution comes where? That is a big question. And that is where spirituality helps. So here I would like to give a very amazing perspective, which I think many people will be knowing already, but to touch upon your, since your question is on mind-body connection. In medical science, again, one more part is that there is a branch called as psychoneuroimmunology. So psychological, understanding the thoughts, the way the mind works, neurology, this is the brain networks. And again, when you say neurology, all the hormones, psychoneuroimmunology, and immunology is immunity. All these things are connected. So they study in details the endocrine system, the mental thoughts, and how it impacts the human body. Now, in spirituality, when we go, the first thing we are taught is that all of us as beings have multiple layers. It is not just the body and mind. So we are not just this body alone, we are the mind. Then there is a deeper layer of emotions. So you have body, you have mind, you have emotion, you have a spiritual layer and a core. The core is the source, which is where the most beautiful or the most powerful part which lies in spirituality. Now, we can talk about the body, we can talk about the mind, and maybe to some extent the emotions. When you come to the core, the source, that is where spirituality plays a huge role, which is where science still is coming up or is still, trying to find ways and methods to prove. But a very simple way I would like anybody to understand is that, for example, this is a phone. This is like the phone which I have is an iPhone, and there are all different kinds of phone. The phone is a masterpiece when it comes to current the different kinds of phones which have so many things,
True.
everything in it.
Yeah.
But if this phone is not charged, it'll be useless piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the same way, if we talk about another example, cars, you have Lamborghini, you have Mercedes, you have BMW, best of the cars, or you have Maruti, or any other cars. I'm again not trying to differentiate the cars, but the interesting thing is that any car, unless there's a fuel inside, it's a useless piece, right? So this is the analogy which I'm taking here to make everybody understand that unless you connect to that source, that is a petrol, that is a fuel, that is electrical, the power which is making our phone run, that is where the most important thing lies. If you are able to connect, or you need to reconnect to that core, you need to recharge yourself daily, regularly. And once you do that, automatically the earlier part, as I mentioned in science, where every human being is extending that fight and fight response to every situations in life.
Yes.
That can be taken care once you connect, once you are able to experience, which needs to be done regularly. So the mind-body connection is very intricate. When you are when you understand this, when you understand the true purpose of why a human being has come here, the purpose of our existence here, and when you start going from your outer physical to the mind, to the emotion, to the core, and you start experiencing, a whole new world opens up.
So when you say the core, how would you, in one word, explain the core? Or maybe a couple of words so that the audience understands what is this core?
Yeah. So, as I said, core or the source is that empowering source or the energy or the substratum
Okay.
which enables everything else to function.
All right. So would you say that it's meditation? Would you say that it's breathing? To simplify it. Because right now, there are lots of scientists who are studying and exploring meditation. And they feel that it is this meditation that is helping people to bring in a lot of physical well-being as well as mental well-being. And this is what we need to understand even more so, whether there is a connect here between the spiritual world, the medicine world, because the science is talking about meditation, but they're not connecting you to the spiritual world. So how would you explain this to us?
Yeah, very nice. You very beautifully said that science talks about meditation, but
Yes.
somehow they are not able to accept openly the spiritual world.
Absolutely.
And the fact is that the meditation comes from the spiritual world.
Yes.
So here again, I would like to tell everybody that it is actually the same.
Yes.
We are giving names. It is actually the same. And as I had said earlier in the last podcast, that science is catching up. It's yet to discover, and already there's a lot of acceptance. Right now, when we are talking about the core or the source to understand is very difficult with scientific tools because it is experiential. And to be able to connect to it and experience it is where meditation helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So meditation empowers you to be able to increase your awareness from your outer layers and slowly go within. It's an internal journey, right? So meditation, simply understanding as an internal journey. We do so many actions out in the world. You as a teacher or me as a doctor, we go out. This is an external journey in the outside world. Now, this is also part of spirituality.
Yes.
Everything is spiritual. But then when you truly want to go within is where meditation helps. And meditation helps you to connect to the source. As I was just suggesting that in order to fuel yourself or recharge yourself every day, this is where it will help. Which can be done in different ways. So meditation is one of the methods, right? There are different methods. So meditation is one of the very profound, very ancient methods. And there are different types of meditation which will help to connect to that source. When you connect to that source, as we saw, your understanding of life changes. The suffering will end.
Yes.
Right? The suffering will end. The challenges will remain. But somewhere you will get a very large overview and perspective about life. Because you're able to experience the source which is enabling everything.
Yes, and it gives you an inner strength to be able to fight your challenges also. Yes. And you just now said that there are different types of meditation. So if you can quickly enumerate them, at least some of them for our audience sake, and give us a little brief on it. I would like that.
Yeah. So, see, there are different ways of understanding meditation. And if you Google and see, you will find hundreds of different kinds of meditation. More or less, I think in broad category, some make it like 23 different types of meditation. But again, the numbers are not important. If you understand more or less, most of the meditation you can classify into two types. Either it is passive, where you are just aware, or there is a focus, a concentration. So either there is a mindfulness, which is just being aware, or you are concentrating on something.
Okay.
Right? So if you have, say, mantra, your focus is on that mantra chanting. You keep repeating that mantra. Your entire thought, your awareness goes to that mantra. Right? But there is a focus meditation one can call, or it could be taken in a different way. Like breath watch is another way. You're again watching, you're doing something. On the other hand, there could be just being an awareness, just watching, just experiencing whatever is happening in your mind, in your being, in your surrounding. Could be even that. So there's a very amazing paper which I came across scientifically. So which maybe we can put in the caption, the actual journal from where it has described. So they have classified meditation into 4 different types. So the first one is again focus meditation. This called focus. So many people know something called as tratak. Tratak is you have a flame of a lamp or a candle, and you just keep continuous focus on that one flame continuously non-stop. Another example, again, as we saw, is breath watch. So you keep a focus, or it could be in mantra. So that is a focus concentration meditation. And there's another meditation which he classifies. So this is one category. The second category is loving kindness meditation. The loving kindness meditation is experiencing compassion, experiencing love. It's just an experience. You experience that. And the third one, he classifies as mind-wandering meditation.
Okay, what is that? So, this is something new that I've heard. Okay.
So as we saw earlier, the awareness, mindfulness, just to let your mind wander. In fact, this is very, very, very powerful.
Okay.
In Vedantic understanding or Vedic understanding, that ancient text, meditation, dhyan, sahaj hona chahiye. Meditation should be on its auto mode, aromatic. So this is mind wander. You just let your mind wander. And this comes with practice. After many years of this other focus meditation, a stage will come where you are just aware. You're just aware of everything. That awareness, you are also aware of your awareness.
Agreed.
So this is like a
very beautiful.
Yeah, you get into that state.
It takes a while to
It takes a long while, long while, right? And nothing disturbs you there. And it takes a lot of training and understanding. There's something called as open-eyed meditation. You can be meditative all and everywhere. So just to share quickly here that my mentor and guide, Mitra Sut, so he is in the meditative state 24/7.
24/7. Agreed.
So while he's functioning, there is that meditation happening. That's called an open-eyed 24/7 meditation. And last is mantra chanting. In that 4 category, he's described mantra chanting, though it is equal to the first focus type. But mantra chanting itself actually upsurges your energy. It has a
vibrations hit you.
Exactly. So there is an additional, apart from your focus, that mantra has a vibrational frequency.
Yes.
The ancient Vedic mantras, a lot of people are studying now. Like, for example, Gayatri month itself is supposed to bring in change in frequency, which apparently has been studied, and no other words or frame or sentence or poem or song can bring about that kind of
strong as the
Gayatri Mantra. That is what I've been studied. So there's a matrix, there is a way the Sanskrit words which are put in.
Cadence.
Yeah, the
Cadence
intonation.
also. The intonation is very important here.
Yeah. So all these are different ways to meditate, and each of them, again, here have their own purpose and impact. Yeah. So a very simple way I would say is that start with what you naturally flow.
Yes.
So the commonest or simplest meditation when I started my journey, which really helped when I started earlier, is something called as Maitri Sambodhyan. Maitri Sambodhyan is a meditation which is freely available, and it is the purpose of this meditation, as we started here today, is to connect to that source. Is to connect to that your true inner being, divinity, to connect to your inner being, your inner core. So the purpose is such that the meditation takes you there.
Yes.
And very interestingly, this has both the components of active as well as passive. So you start with breath watch.
Yes.
You do Om chanting, which is mantra meditation.
Yes.
You focus on the center of the eyebrows so that focus meditation comes. And slowly then you go into that phase of just mind wandering, where you allow yourself to connect, which is the Bhakti Prava, the last part, which is there, a part of that. So all components are there. And it is, we are already researched, just to let you know, in US, we have already finished a part of that research, where we did this research of Maitri Sambodhyan on people who are taking care of dementia healthcare professionals. So there are huge groups where there are dementia patients and professionals who take care of these dementia patients.
The caregivers.
Caregivers, they undergo huge amount of psychological stress. It is very well known. Can you imagine that they are with the dementic patients full day and night?
We have the same situation in my home. My sister goes through that stress. So I can completely imagine what these caretakers go through.
So these caregivers underwent 21 days of this Maitri Sambodhyan, and we saw the emotional and psychological health. And the preliminary results, we in fact just last month we have results are out, and I can't tell you, Prajakta is so amazing, so amazing.
I'm sure it must have changed the entire frequency of their mind and body.
So once we publish the paper, then the results will be out.
Yeah.
So that's how it helps, I would say.
I'm sure meditation takes you a long, long way. And you've already spoken about the 4 different kinds of meditation. However, there is this chakra meditation that is gaining a lot of momentum. And you see a lot of people on social media talking about it. And each one has his or her own style of taking this chakra meditation through. And chakras, actually, meditation has been our old science for centuries. However, recent science and scientists who have studied chakra meditation, they associate chakras to, I think, the nerve plexus over here. They associate it to other physical parts of the endocrine glands. There is no specific proof of it being spiritual, according to them. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, very interesting. So Chakra Dhyan is something, Chakra meditation or Chakra Dhyan as it is called. It's been there from like ancient, very, very ancient times. Now, as you rightly said that in medical science, I'm a doctor, so there is nothing like to see these chakras, right? So there are many chakras. So again, I would say whatever I have learned is from my mentor and guide, my divine friend, Mitra Sut. I did my own research before because it was very intriguing when I started my Vedic journey, Vedantic journey, to understand how these chakras, Kundalini, and everything match.
Yeah.
Right. So after, going through all this over many years, the fact is that in proper science, it is very difficult to locate these chakras. So here I learned from Maitribodh Parivar and again from Maitre Dadashiji that this is a part of our astral body. The chakras are a physical body, there's an astral body. So the chakras are energy systems. They are like energy sources which rotate. They are like energy sources and they are part of our astral body. Now, there are many chakras, apparently 108, of which 7 chakras are the most important ones, right? From your base of the spine, in the perineal region, and to the crown, the Sahasrara chakra. So you have Muladhara chakra, you have Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat, Vishuddhi at the throat level, the Agneya chakra, which is at the Bhrumadhya, center of the eyebrows, here. So when you focus this point here, the line drawn will straight lead to the pineal gland. The pineal gland, which is the center or the seat of the Agneya chakra, and there is a crown, the Sahasrara chakra. Each of these points or each of these chakras have a different kind of petals. They are different numbers, they're different shapes, they're different colors, and they get fully encharged or balanced with certain sounds, with certain colors, certain frequencies. So amazingly, the sages knew then. And this is exactly what they, there was a download of what Bija mantra seeds, which will actually stimulate this chakra, one particular chakra. So we have Bij mantras for each of the chakras. And their location is in the spine. The spine of the vertebrae, the spine which is there in the back system. The Anahata chakra is the center of the heart. Now, I had learned this earlier from my previous spiritual, wherever I used to go, organizations. And then I learned from Dadashriji. And believe me, of course, there are differences. But when I started practicing Chakra Dhyan and actually experiencing, you will not believe, particularly every chakra you can actually feel. You can feel the vibrations. So then I understood a very important fact, which I would like to share with everybody.
Please.
That do not do Chakra Dhyan unless you have a guide. It is a dangerous thing. And also at the same time to have the right source. Because if you go in the YouTube, there are thousands of people who market and there's a huge payment you do. And see, I'm not trying to put down anyone, but then you need to know the source from where it is coming.
Exactly. That's what I meant, when I went onto the internet. There's so much there, and this is quite a intriguing journey, because if you don't do it under guidance, it can even hit your brain cells. You can even become mad or things like that.
They talk about this. So I'll tell you how and from whatever, I was very curious, when all this information comes, that as you're exactly sharing, these kind of stories are there. So when you are doing chakra meditation, the focus with the Bij mantra in a right way, there is a energy which from your perineal region, what is called as a Kundalini Shakti, it shoots up. Okay, and it goes into your crown. This energy, when it shoots up, it has to be done. It is very strong. It has to be guided. It has to be done in a very, very proper way. And here again, I'm reiterating, I don't know how much importance I want to stress to everyone, that you require a master or a guide who knows how your energy is moving up. Because if it goes in the wrong way, the guide should be able to bring it back. Which is why we always do any meditation, and especially Chakra Dhyan, only after inviting and invoking the presence of, you can see this divine light, which is of Maitre Dadashriji, because it's a live picture. And when we invoke his presence, he is there and he takes care. So he will not let anything go wrong, is the experience. So there are many other and many other things which you can talk about divine light, but that will be a different topic. So coming back to Chakra.
Once you just talk about divine light.
Yes. So once we are doing the Chakra Dhyan properly, the energies go up. Now, as you asked, interestingly, where does science fall in this? So I try to do a lot of research. Again, there are a lot of nice texts which are available. So there are very beautiful analogies or parallels you can draw in the science, in the human body and the chakras. So chakras you can't see, as I said, is a part of the astral body. So if you take, for example, the Muladhara chakra, there is a hypogastric plexus which exists along the sacrococcygeal area, actually exists. And that is in the form of, multiple lines lying from a central ganglion. There is a hypogastric plexus, and that actually connects the excretory system and the reproductive system. This is exactly the function of Muladhara chakra. The very basic core senses and the excretory system, which is where Muladhara chakra also functions.
Yes, and it's one of the most powerful.
Very, very powerful.
It's up windows to a lot of things.
Yes, exactly. And this is where the root, it's a root, right? It's a root chakra. The root has to be so strong. So you have to correct your root, is where the Chakra Dhyan helps. Then you take example of Manipur chakra. So Manipur chakra, there is a celiac ganglion. Celiac ganglion is it looks like a chakra actually. Of course, it is in a vertical way in a standing person. So the celiac ganglion connects all the or majority of the internal organs. Now, all these ganglions, the hypogastric plexus, the celiac ganglion, all these things are internally connected by something called as a autonomic nervous system. There's a parasympathetic and the sympathetic. Both these systems are there, which go and finally the vagus nerve, and that goes in the brain. You can imagine all these chakras connections.
So connected.
Ida Pingala, the two nadis and the chakras. Sushumna. Yeah, so Sushumna, there is no analogy or no parallel in the medical science. But Ida Pingala, the sympathetic, the parasympathetic system, the ganglions, the chakras which we spoke about, again, the few of them. And finally, all this connects. And in the brain, we have the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a very, very important organ spiritually. So in medical science, its functions are for circadian rhythm and secretion of melatonin. So it's an endocrine organ, very, very important again. But apart from that, there is nothing major which has been found. So pineal gland is a very powerful organ spiritually. To keep it healthy is very, very important. So, I would like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Since you also know a lot about human body, what are the cells in pineal gland? You know?
All I know is I keep praying to God to keep my pineal gland healthy. Keep every cell in my pineal gland. I actually say that.
Yeah, very nice.
I actually say that when I pray to keep my pineal gland healthy because I meditate. I try to meditate as regularly as possible.
Very nice. You should.
You tell me, what are the cells in the pineal gland?
The pineal gland has rods and cones. The rods and cones are in our eyeballs, retina. So now you know rods and cones, third eye. The same cells are also, again, I would like to tell the audience to Google and check.
Yes.
The cells in the pineal gland are rods and cones. And they are there in the eyes, which makes us see. So this is your inner eye, the third eye, the third eye.
And it is placed, the position of the pineal gland, I think is 2 inches from here, 2 inches. It's somewhere in the center of
it. It is exactly in the center of the brain. It is protected.
Third eye, yes.
Yeah, it's protected by many, many structures so that nothing goes wrong. That, spiritually is so important and sacred because that opens the door to your intuitive power and to the whole spiritual world. Yes. And after that, once that is fully active, only then can you reach the crown, the Sahasrara Chakra, to become one with the universe. Right? So this is so intriguing. Like, the matches.
Very, very. Thank God I've been praying to keep my pineal gland healthy.
And for each of the chakra, there is a bija mantra. Yes. So this is lung for your Manipur. So lung, vang, rang, yang for anahar,
yes.
hang for the Vishuddhi, om is the one which stimulates your pineal gland. Yes. So, when you focus, when you do a chakra dhyan meditation or even otherwise, when you bring your awareness at the level of the center of the eyebrows, so the point, where I'm putting my finger, this is the point. But not here. It has to be here. So when you bring your awareness there and chant, Om.
You're activating.
Yeah. So the vibration straight away, if you draw a line, it will hit the pineal gland. And your pineal gland gets activated. Basically, it becomes balanced and activated. So that is how you activate the pineal gland. With Om chanting, again, repeating again, you need a guide. You require your protection and the guidance of a person who is in that state, who will be able to help in this. Right? And then when you do all these chakras get fully activated, then it is only with the grace of someone, guru or a master or a divine being, that you will be able to activate or open up your Sahasrara Chakra.
And that's a long journey.
It's a long journey. So I would really like to tell that one can really practice this, but one should do under guidance. So in Maitribodh Parivar, we teach this as a part of a series of our something called as Bodh series. So Bodh is level 1 to 7, but when we have, as of now, Tadashriji has introduced from 1 to 5. So in both level 3, the second day we teach in details. We have a whole session about anything and everything on Chakra Dhyan. and we make you experience life. So I would really
So you gradually take the individual up to that particular meditation. It's not given to you once and for all.
very good, very important point. I forgot to tell this. So as you are saying, chakra dhyan should not be done immediately. See, Dadashri ji used to actually make us initial days, make us wait from both 1 to both 2. And there used to be a gap because there are specific meditation taught in both level 1, then both level 2 specific meditation. When your body gets ready, then you move to the next level. So Chakra Dhyan is an advanced meditation.
True.
It should not directly jump because our body should be ready. And I know personally how a lot of people, a lot of changes happen. It can even become negative unless your body is ready.
Yeah. Physically also, mentally also, the changes occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you are able to do it, I can't tell you, Prajakta, this is one of my favorite meditations, that you become supercharged.
Yes.
When your chakras are fully aligned, you become wide awake, your awareness builds up, and your chakras directly connect to your body. So to remain healthy for all your internal organs, for your various parts in the body, it becomes beautiful. And as we already saw, eventually connects to your brain.
Yes.
So for mental health, again, it is very, very useful.
Yeah.
But again, caution, you must not do it immediately. You must do under a guide who knows, and not just anyone. And with you have to have a grace of the divine. And always do it after you're already used to meditations. Take some time and then do it.
Wonderful. Really, I love the explanation you gave because it is so essential. There's so much happening on the net. There are certain emotions that block our chakras. I guess those are the low vibrating emotions. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah. So see, each of these chakras are connected to different kinds of an emotion. What we can talk about it, but what I would here like to tell is that once you have a guide, that guide will take care. Now this, there are people who, as you are asking this question, people who talk that, if you're going through this emotion, activate this chakra.
Yes.
So what I would advise is that, first of all the chakras need to be balanced, right? So when you are doing this chakra dhyan under proper guidance, with the grace, everything will come in balance. And chakra dhyan per se, by itself, if you are doing, to get the maximum benefit, you need to connect. I'm again going back to the first question which you asked, is to go back to your core. Unless and until you're connected to the source, unless and until you are connected to the divine, unless and until you experience the divine, this will not help. And the other way around, if you're connecting to your core fully, you actually do not need to do chakra dhyan.
Wow.
Because once you're connected to the source, can you imagine your source
It's just,
everything will get balanced. Right? So a person like Mirabai, who was in that divine state, she never needed to go into chakra dhyan.
No, she didn't.
Jesus Christ never needed to sit and do chakra dhyan because everything was aligned for him.
Yes.
Right? So if you are in that, again, path of knowledge, when you're connected to that truth, to that source, you don't need to do chakra dhyan. So there's another side of it which I would like.
A wonderful thought over here, believe me. Yeah.
So that answers all. Anything you ask me about chakra dhyan, I will tell that you do it to align, but eventually connect to your source.
So these are the chosen few, because I feel that, certain things are predestined for you. And there are certain chosen people. You cannot control them. It is the cosmic that controls them. You can go to a Jyotish and he can tell you, aise hoga, vaise hoga, vaise hoga. But sometimes it doesn't happen according to what they may say, or the planetary positions, because you have been chosen for a particular purpose. This has been an experience. Am I right?
Yes, you're perfectly right. See, we all come here because we have to complete certain learnings, complete certain experiences, complete certain karmic lessons. We have all come here for that. So you have to go through it. It's a part of something you may have asked for. Right? So when you go through all these things, it is only and only meant for your growth. Because unless you finish, Earth is a karma bhumi. In the ancient understanding of the Vedic text, it's a karma movie of come here. It's like when you go to a hospital, you will not go to a hospital and see a movie, right? You go for treatment.
Absolutely.
So on the earth, it's a karma movie where you do actions, learn your lessons, fulfill your experiences, and grow. All these things happen. And coming back to the most important thing, you require a guide. You require somebody who can make you understand these things. Only then will it happen. And that is why this both series, as I said, really helps.
So I'm going to digress a little bit. You said need a guide, but you have so many people around who claim to be guides, who claim to be healers. How do you understand who is the right one?
It's a very, very like important question. And I have myself gone through, my journey, met many guides. And again, touch wood, it is with, again, the divine grace that I really met very wonderful people. If you read stories, of so many negative things, I never came across anyone like this. In fact, each one helped, in my this path where I am now. I would like to acknowledge a very profound role of each person who came.
Wonderful.
Right from path of knowledge to making me aware of the astral world and the various meditative techniques which I learned and experienced, and finally met my mentor and guide, Mitra Sut. Yes. For me, he was the person who I was looking for. And I still remember, so this can help people, if they want to, when I'm looking for a guide. So when I went and met him first time, it was a very reluctant journey to go and meet him because I was already doing some other things in spirituality. So at the moment I sat in front of him, it took a little time, 5-6 hours when the board level happened, the series which happened that first day. And when I let myself be, I just surrendered. I said, just let me experience. Believe me, everything changed. His presence, there was it's like I knew that he's the one. It's like I may ask, the audience, how do you, or maybe I can ask you, when you love somebody, do you question? You just love.
You just love.
It just happens.
Very true.
It just happens. There is no a way. It just happens, right? So you don't. If I ask anybody, why do you love that? It just happens, right? You love. It's just there. It can be very bizarre, and we've seen bizarre people loving, in relation.
Of course,
But that is a love. So your same exactly is my experience when I met Tadashriji. That moment when I saw him, the moment I let myself,
Go,
be,
maybe.
that everything changed. That moment it changed, and it was like as if the soul, my soul seeking has met the source.
It's love. And he's connected to Mahatma Babaji, and Mahatma Babaji says speaks about love.
Yes. So eventually, after going through so many different paths, I would say, which path of knowledge, which was my foundation, and again, bhakti, which I have strongly been connected to from childhood because of my family, and that is a very, very important part. Finally, what Dada Shriji teaches is love. To experience love, to give love. Because we call him love incarnate. Yes, because he is Prema Avatar. He is, every cell is love, which is what I realize now. I experience the first day. Because love is something which connects everything. And, he's a direct disciple of Mahatar Babaji. Mahatar Babaji, I must tell everyone this. Okay, so Dada Shriji, there is a book, Maitre Dada Shriji's book called as Cause of Suffering is Lack of Love.
Yes.
In that, the first chapter, Maitre Dada Shriji only talks about Mahatar Babaji. And believe me, autobiography of a yogi, everyone must have read, a lot of people must have read. So our understanding, or my understanding, or most of us only know Babaji from that perspective. But when I read the directly from Dada Shriji, what Babaji is, and it was like a amazing thing to understand. So I would really recommend everybody to read that book. And that first chapter, the first chapter is very, very profound. And in that, the reason why I'm telling you this, after, all meditation, chakra dhyan, everything that we are talking, the final thing is love, which is what Dada Shriji talks about. And in that, there's a discussion which Dada Shriji has with Mahatma Babaji. And Mehta Dada Shriji tells that the entire gist of all the understanding, Mahatma Babaji tells in one mantra or one particular sentence, which is Premeva Sandhyatam, Premeva Sadhyatam, which means that love alone is to be attained, love alone be attained.
Beautiful. I mean, you get this kind of goosebumps. Absolutely. That's what I just now experienced. I would love to talk about these things even more so, but I need to know something about you and your journey also. I wanted to ask you the last time. This is about your Vedanta study. I mean, you spent at least approximately 10 years, yes, studying the Vedanta.
Yes.
Could you tell us something about that journey? Because Vedanta is all about knowledge. And then from there, you steered and come to Maitri Bodh Parivar. What was this transition? What was the transformation?
Yeah, yeah. So this is very personal for me, and I feel that a lot of people should know this because I myself was completely glued to Vedanta or the path of knowledge. Let's call it a path of knowledge. Because knowledge in any religious background, any scriptures, you see, they're very powerful. So you feel that that is the final thing, which is what I was experiencing before I met Dadashiji. And nothing could come close to it because the knowledge is so profound. It gives you an understanding about life, the purpose of life, and you know exactly why things are happening to you, why the world, things are happening in the world. Because the knowledge is so powerful. Again, the knowledge itself is a source of uplifting you. All your chakras get aligned. That knowledge is so powerful. It's so amazing. But then the same knowledge gave me the awareness that I needed a guide. The knowledge tells, Vedanta tells, that you can reach the highest, but that final, that transportation or that shift to all your efforts can only happen with divine grace. And that grace can only be given by a person who is in that state. So this knowledge came from Vedanta, and I was looking out for somebody who is in that state, and which is where I met Maitre Dadashiji, who I knew that first day itself, because after that first day's experience, believe me, Prajaktaji, for next literally 1 month, I was in a very different state. That is the power which Maitre Dadashiji has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he gave me that experience, and for me, that knowledge, all that I had learned, it just in that few minutes of meeting him, it just everything came together. An understanding, the experience. Of course, this experience, then when you go back to the world, you go back to the same rigmarole, but you keep connecting to divine light and you keep getting
Experience.
back that experience. Now, as you're asking, knowledge is something which a lot of people love to read, the intricacies of the words and the understanding, the complicated theories and you actually, I'll tell you, Prajakta, is very important. You fall in love with all those complexities, not the essence.
Yes.
You're getting? This is exactly happens to 90% of the people. They love all those complexities. This mantra means this mantra means this, and the chanting and everything. But eventually, is it taking you to the goal? The purpose of the knowledge is to take you. It's like if you see they're called high jump, the pole vault jumpers, right? The purpose of that pole vault is to leave it, to cross.
Yes.
You can't be holding it and jumping, right?
Yeah.
So the purpose of the knowledge path is to leave it eventually, to experience it highest. But people are holding it.
Holding on.
You will never be able to reach that highest.
Yeah.
Is what my experience has been. In fact, Dadashiji used to tell when I met him first time, and after a few months of seva, he gave me one very beautiful word. The word is that you get a spiritual ego. The spiritual ego, I know, is very dangerous.
That's going to bring you down eventually.
Exactly. He said that it is very easy for him to transform somebody who's naive, somebody who doesn't know anything. But a person who has come with that backlog of knowledge, it's very difficult. And here, very beautifully, he told that spiritual ego hides.
Oh, yes, very subtle.
Very subtle. So out you will tell, oh, no, I am completely surrendered. I know, I will accept. But that ego is holding you. This is what exactly I experienced. I had to, break down. Again, it is thanks to him. He had to break down that ego of spiritual knowledge. It took some time because it is not easy to give it up.
10 years he was studying it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know of people who are phenomenal, very profound.
But I doesn't
go there. Yeah, that I know becomes so huge that it surpasses any other ego.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yours is somebody, I would say, who in a very gentle and very nice way is not just, I'm not just not talking about me, that lakhs and lakhs of people who have experienced, and I would really recommend that to be in his presence and experience.
So would I, and the way he speaks has such a calming effect. And that is exactly what happens to one who has reached that stage of enlightenment.
Yes. So here I would just like to add something. Dadashriji is in a state which is beyond enlightenment, transformation.
So, Mitra Sut, thank you so much for coming on to MimamshaTalk once again. And it's always heartwarming talking to you. And I would love to go on and on and on with you because somewhere I resonate with some of the things that you say. However, we will have to end this at this point in time. And if you give us the opportunity, I'm sure we can do another podcast with you, talking of various other things that our audience would love to listen to and garner some information. Well, thank you so much, all of you. And yes, Chakra Dhyan is very important. However, as Mitra Sut has reiterated time and again, if you're getting into Chakra Dhyan, that is chakra meditation, please see that you do it by the guidance of someone who's knowledgeable enough to take you through that journey. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to us very intently. And thank you, Mitra Sut.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again. Really wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.